Hi, everyone. It's been a beat. We were so busy with the Pregnant and Pop Fair that we haven't been able to do these online events for a couple of months. But can I hear a whoop whoop for those that did come and say hello? We absolutely love the climax of seeing you all twice a year. If we have any prize winners listening today, just a little bit of a shout out. If you are a prize winner from the fair, congratulations. And don't forget to check your inbox and claim your prize before the next fair. We are already planning the most amazing event. So please, please, please look out for details coming soon. Right. Who is with us today? It's Angela from UpChild. Angela has been in the wings with Pregnant and Popped from the very beginning. She is an amazing sleep consultant and specialist in communication skills. She's a certified independent baby signs instructor, and that is what I have asked her to focus on for us today. And clearly it's a popular subject because for the first time ever, we literally sold out for this online masterclass, which is so amazing. So let's get into this. I do need to run through some really quick housekeeping points. A quick reminder that Pregnant Popped is a community and network of professionals and parents in Singapore, bringing you advice and guidance to help you navigate the first 1,000 days from conception. So that's from conception to roughly 2 years old is kind of that space where we specialize in. This masterclass, including its replay, is provided free to all Pregnant and Pop Village members and for a small cost for non-village members. You can always contact me to join the village for free anytime. The legal stuff, the educational content of our masterclasses is the work of our Pregnant and Pop partners. We are not licensed medical or legal professionals, and this is neither a medical nor legal platform. The content of today should not be considered medical or legal advice. Instead, it is always best to consult your specialist providers for any specific concerns or questions. And use the information from today as a complementary tool to help guide those discussions in care plans. So let's get into this. Hi, I'm Kathy Rougier. I'm your moderator for today. I'm a certified postpartum doula, a mother, and a founder of the Pregnant and Popped community. And this is Angela, your expert speaker for today in all things baby sign language and independent communication skills. Angela, it's time for you to say hello to everyone.
Hello, hi, Kathy. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our masterclass, Baby Science 101. Okay, so just to have a quick introduction of myself, I'm Angela and I founded UpChild. So the main thing I'm teaching is the baby science course, which is online or in person, and also for potty training if you are looking to start after 18 months old, and also sleep consultation. So get into the agenda today. Today I will be talking about what the baby science is all about and why do we use baby science with the babies and when to get started, what's the best age and how to teach. And also we will learn some basic science, 7 basic science, and I'm gonna test you at the end, see if you remember them. So you can quickly start with your baby. For those who are still in your, you're still pregnant, you can just learn it and next time you watch back the playback and then start to use it again once the baby is out. Okay, so firstly, what is the baby science about, right? Many parents will tell me that they watch some videos or see their friends that using the baby science and see how wonderful it works when the mommy can understand what baby needs. Yeah, so for baby science, it's actually just using a way for babies to communicate with the caregivers before they actually can use the vocal to talk to us, right? Because moving the vocal cords and mouth together to make our words is quite difficult. So it may happen after 1 year old. But before 1 year old, or before, for some babies, if they talk later, before 2 years old, they need a way to communicate us, not just keep crying or just being frustrated because they cannot get their message over. Okay, so baby signs is a great way to communicate between caregivers and babies. So our baby signs are actually based on American Sign Language. So it is a sign language. Most of the signs that you could use with the deaf community, but it also adjusted to be baby friendly because their little hands only starts to open and close and do all the little different gestures. It's hard for them. So it's made baby friendly for their little hands to easily master it. Okay, and some of the signs they actually based on baby's experience. So for example, later the signs that we're going to learn, eat, right? Because baby, when they are hungry, they tend to put the stuff inside their mouth. So they take the food inside their mouth. This becomes the signs for eat. Okay, so many signs are based on baby's experience, and later on, so let's say even during our course, let's say we learn 100 signs altogether. But doesn't mean this 100 signs you're going to use all of them, and doesn't mean your baby will be interested in this 100 signs. So for the topics that you didn't learn, they also want to communicate with you. They will create themselves along the way, right? So for example, when my baby was about 1 year old, we two were playing a toy toolbox. And then suddenly my baby starts to do this sign. Okay, we never do this before. So I was wondering, what is he asked about? Actually, he was referring to the screwdriver. He wants screwdriver. So now, from then on, the whole house, we know, okay, this is a screwdriver. It doesn't matter, even if the signs were created by baby, that will be the signs we're going to use. So there is a flexibility in our signs. Other people don't need to understand what signs you are using. The most important is the caregiver and the babies, they can understand each other. Okay, so even some signs that you didn't learn in the class or from the video or anywhere, you can also create your own to communicate. Okay, next we are going to talk about why we use baby signs. Okay, so imagine yourself is overseas and the other country, they don't speak English. So what you're gonna do? Naturally, you're gonna use some gestures. So same for babies. It's also very natural for babies to use gesture as well. Okay, so the baby signs, when they start to use, it will reduce their frustration. They will communicate their feelings, their needs to the caregivers. So caregivers can understand and grasp what they need, what they feel right now. Okay. And then it also a way for babies to share their world. Okay. After you, for example, you learn the animal signs, and then you go out to the park and babies see the birds, see the dog. They want to share with you what they see. So they will use baby signs as well. Of course, after they start to communicate with you, it will build up their self-confidence. See, I can communicate. I can show you what I learned, what I know. So their self-confidence also boosts up. Next one is promotes EQ and IQ development. This part I will talk in detail in next slide. Okay, so for parents, why do we use the baby signs? Of course, we want to make the life easier. We want to understand them and provide what we can, instead of, you're just facing a crying baby and what do you want? What do you want? There's no way you can understand him or her, so it's hard. So if we can use the signs, it make life easier. And it built the trust because you two can understand each other. You have your common language. The trust is there. And of course, the bond, because it is so special. Only you and the baby knows what you two are talking about. And lastly, you understand how smart baby actually are, because all the things you teach, even they can't tell. They cannot verbally tell you. They can also use the signs to tell you. Okay, so next slide, we'll talk about the EQ and IQ. Okay, so back in 1982, Dr. Linda and Dr. Susan did this scientific research with 140 families, different family background. Okay, they are all 11 months old, and they follow them basically from 1 year old to 8 years old, all the way for 8 years. Okay, so what they find is when all those kids about 2 years old, the signing group are talking more like 28 months old. And when they are 3 years old, they're talking like 4 years old. Okay, so doesn't matter if that they talk later. So by 3 years old, most of the kids will start to talk. Okay, so by 3 years old, our signing babies will talk like 4 years old because they start to communicate much earlier and they have more vocabulary early on, so they can build longer sentence structure. Okay, and at 8 years old, when they do this IQ test, the signing babies score 12 points higher than the non-signing group. But of course, I don't ask you to learn the baby signs to boost their IQ points. That's not the idea. But the most important thing is that they start to communicate early. So we can understand each other and let them open up the world much earlier to explore. Okay, next we are going to talk about is when to get started, right? This is always a question that asked quite often by the parents. So basically, there is no perfect time when to start. Anytime before 2 years old, or for some late talkers or special needs kids, anytime before they can verbally talk, this is always a good way to communicate. So whenever parents are ready, you can just start to communicate. Okay, so let's say from birth to 8 months old, if you start to get them having the signs, they will have the early exposure to the baby signs and get into the habit. For example, before everything that you do, all the routines, before you sleep, before you feed, you are doing this, it be just built into the habit for both parents and baby. Okay, but it doesn't mean they will start to sign back because their hands are still learning how to open and close. So from 8 months old to 1 year old, you usually can see more immediate results when you start to introduce. They can learn quite fast and get the idea. Okay, and from 1 year old onwards, for some babies, when they join 1 year old, they can even learn during the class. They can learn and use it. Okay, but also after 1 year old, when you start to teach the signs, they learn fast, but they also drop the signs very fast because they move on to talking soon. So some, they 15 months or even 18 months, they start to talk, they will drop the signs. Okay, but that doesn't mean that the signs will not be used anymore because, okay, today they pick up mama, milk, but they haven't picked up the word toothbrush. Yeah, so those that they haven't started to sign, they haven't started to talk, you can continue to use the signs. Okay. And for me, I think a good age to start is usually after 6 months old, when it starts to sit up and start to introduce the solids for the first time. Then you introduce the baby signs as well, because it's a good thing that you can build all the food signs into the routine. Okay, next we're gonna see a video. See how the baby can sign.
Bib, that's right, bib. Ice cream. Good job. Cool. Cereal. Good job. Hot. Done. Good work. More.
Okay, so this is a video just to show you this probably around 11, 10, 11 months old, what they can do. This, I guess, because the mommy always use this signing book to show the baby so that they can sign one by one. But most of the time, when we use the signs, it's more like routine based in the actual context. So if we want to eat, we do the eating sign, okay? Okay, so now we're gonna talk about how do you teach the baby science. After today you learn some science and go home, you want to teach some science with the baby. Okay, so imagine this is the baby. Make sure when we teach the science, eyes to eyes, having eye contact, face to face. And then so we use the eat sign as example, okay? You need to say the word and sign together. So always say and sign together. Eat, eat. And also make sure your facial expression and tone that is reflecting what the science is about. For example, if you are teaching something happy, right? A feeling happy, then you need to show happy, that really happy instead of happy. So the baby doesn't get the wrong idea of what you are trying to tell her. Okay, and then you repeat. Repeat doesn't mean that in the same setting you have to keep saying eat your food, baby, eat. Not like this. It repeats throughout day by day. Whenever we eat, we repeat this. Okay, so just very simple. For example, all right, Bibo, it's time to eat. You put baby inside the high chair and say, okay, now Bibo, it's time to eat. And then you bring out the food. Okay, so very fast. And then because baby doesn't have much attention span, so even that eye contact is only half second or 1 second, that's all that we need. Okay, so make sure that and also this is not teaching a class that, okay, let's sit here and then today lesson 1, eat. This is eat, not like this. It's always in the actual context when you teach so that they can learn it faster in that way. Okay, so now let's learn some signs. 7 signs today, okay? Eat, the first one, eat. So put all the fingers together and then put in your mouth. Eat, eat. Drink, okay? So you can use 2 ways to do the drink. This you use for those straw cups, sippy cup, right? Drink, drink. Or you can use this way, drink. Because for some baby-led weaning, we use the open cup, so you can use this, drink. More. So put all the fingers together and put together, more, more. Yeah, more. Those few signs are quite commonly used by our baby's first few signs. Milk, yeah, milk, open and close like you squeeze from the other. Milk, milk. So this applies for both breastfeed, latching, or bottle feed. Okay, milk. All done, cross and open. All done, all done. sleep, sleep. Yeah, so you can use either one hand or two hands. Sleep. Okay, last one, bath, shower. Okay, fist and then up and down, rub your body. Bath, bath. So that's all the 7 signs we are learning today. Can just see if you remember those signs I have just taught. Yeah, let's go. So everyone can tell me what sign is this?
Come on, guys.
Yes, that's right. Yes, eat.
Awesome.
Eat. So we just do the sign one more time, review. Eat. Very good. Next. What's this sign? Drink. That's
Oh,
right.
we've got some perfect students here.
Drink. Drink. Next. More. Yeah, more. That's right. Put all the hands, fingers together. More. Next. Open and close. Milk. That's right. Milk. Open and close. That's most important one for all the babies. Yeah. And usually milk is the first sign. Next, what's this? Yeah, very fast. Sleep. Either one hand or two hands. Sleep. Very good. Okay, what's this? Open. That's right. All done. Open. All done. Yeah, so all done can use in many situations, right? The food all done. We reading the books all done. All that you can use it. And then lastly, what's this one? That's right. Okay, bath or shower. So fist in front of you and go up and down. Yeah, shower, bath. Okay, very good. Okay, so these are all the seven signs that we have learned today. Okay, next we're gonna use the signs that we just learned just now, and then we're gonna hear the songs and use it with a song, do it together.
Let's all sing the mealtime song. Eat some food, I say. Diggledy, bobbledy, boop, it's fun to sign and play. Let's do drink. Drink your juice, I say. Diggledy, bobbledy, boop, it's fun to sign and play. Now let's ask for more. More, ask for more, I say. Diggledy, bobbledy, boop, it's fun to sign and play. Now we're all done. Done, I'm all done, I say. Diggledy, bobbledy, boop, it's fun to sign and play.
Okay, so this song you can also using the roll your boat with your baby, right? Just say eat some food, I say. You can play with using the songs as well. Okay, so top tips after today you learn some. Always remember, get the Bible, then you use the sentence plus the signs, yeah? And always repeat every single day and give them some time to respond. because sometimes they see the signs and they need some time to respond first to see what is it, and then they will have time to sign back if next time they start to sign. Okay, and you can use all the senses, touch, smell, feel, taste, and look to introduce some words that you want to introduce to them. And don't always ask questions. Remember to describe more, use short sentence, short phrases, and ask less so they can build in. When they start to communicate more next time, grow up, then you can use more questions. Okay? And lastly, I'm going to talk a little bit about our science and play classes. So we have online or in person, and usually it's once a week. Usually lasts about 45 minutes to 1 hour time. Then we use music, story, and sensory plays during our class. And it's a great time to meet with other parents and different age group of the babies. Yeah, and usually in the class, we also have research-based knowledge and development, talk about development things at the end as well.
Wow, Angela, thank you so much. Thank you for teaching us some of the, well, let's face it, some of the most useful signs that we do day in, day out, and all done. I think you can't underestimate how powerful that all done one is. I know, as you know, I've had my own little one, and as I've helped other clients, you know, that comes in so many times, whether it's mealtime, whether it's being slightly overstimulated, they don't want to play anymore, you know, maybe they're at a play date, or, you know, they just want to check out. As they get older, it's amazing how they can actually use that sign to let you know, no, I'm all done now. I want out of this situation, or I want to stop playing with this thing. It's really, really powerful. So I did introduce a little bit of sign language. I wish I'd done a class, but I was in Bangkok at the time and I wasn't aware of there being anyone locally that I could use. And yeah, I couldn't find anything online that seemed to work for me at the time. So I just picked up bits and pieces along the way, but it was so useful. Like milk, my daughter used to sign for milk if she was hungry. And I would know that she'd want to feed then, and it was just so lovely. And like you say, it's kind of weird, you get into the habit of doing it and it's hard to get out of the habit. I don't know if my clients have ever caught me if I'm talking about breastfeeding and they catch me. Sometimes my hand goes into baby sign language. It becomes so ingrained sometimes when you're talking about things to use the signs. Do you find that, Angela? Do you use your hands when you're talking to people?
Yeah, quite a lot. Sometimes I go house visit for the sleep, but then I put in the sign language. I was like, what I'm doing? But it's then, but sometimes parents will ask, what are you doing? Yeah, then you will teach them. Then they find it's very useful to combine, because it's just a very good indication for kids to know what are they expecting next to happen.
It's so powerful. I mean, I always remember thinking, it's obvious that to me that babies understand before they can speak. So they understand what we're saying to them way before they can actually use words to reply to us. But if they can sign back to us, it really helps. Well, like you say, bridge that communication gap over the period of time. And is there any variance at all, like around the world? Like if I looked at your course and, you know, who you trained under versus maybe somebody else that was trained under another organization, would they be using different signs for the same thing?
So for ours, it's using American Sign Language, so most should be similar. But again, for Singapore, we have Singapore Sign Language, British ones, Australian, they are all different. But again, the idea is it's flexible. It doesn't matter what country, what language is that, as long as you can communicate with your baby. That's most important.
I'm curious, how much work, obviously, I know a lot of mums that find this really quite rewarding to start this communication journey and they find it quite useful. And, dads normally get on board and partners normally get on board a little bit as well, but primarily it's the primary caregiver. So how much do you ever notice, do you see when the primary caregiving is actually maybe a helper or a nanny, do you see many helpers or nannies getting on board with this type of communication here in Singapore?
Yes, so I ever taught a few classes just to helpers. So it's helper who brought along the babies, no parents at all. So I guess because the helpers are main caregivers. So probably they won't use as many as parents. But for the routines, they do use. Yeah, even there was a helper who taught because we learn feeling signs as well. So there was baby kept crying one time, and then she used the crying sign and kind of like, I understand you, baby. The baby stopped crying immediately. So yeah, it's like
Powerful.
yes, I heard you like this. So helpers can use quite a bit of sign language with their babies too. Yeah. So it depends. So for the household who have helpers and they also do some of the baby's caring. For example, it was feeding or showering. It was showering every day, the showering, if it's helper's job scope, then teach the helper the bath sign and helper can use just that single one. You don't have to teach so many because there's so many things for them to remember.
Yeah, what a lovely continuity plan to have between the caregivers to be able to have some of those key communication skills being done the same way. Yeah, for all caregivers in the house. I think that's really powerful. Yeah. Oh, I love hearing so you've done like classes for the helpers as well to come and do it. That's cool.
I'm
That's
quite surprised. Today the attendees are actually quite already experienced. I feel the 101 is too basic for all of you.
they probably want to get their hands on all those videos that you've done, Angela, but you can see Angela's contact details on the screen. So her Instagram handle is upchild.sg. You can also email her, WhatsApp her. And of course, Angela is in the village, aren't you? You are in the WhatsApp group there.
Yeah.
We do often tag you for the sleep questions. We don't get a lot of questions about baby sign, but I would love more, any questions in this period from, conception through to 2 years, any questions you've got around communication, anything, and sleep. We would absolutely tag Angela to provide you some support and guidance on that.
Yeah.
So please do know that the village is there for you.
Yeah, correct.
So I hope everyone has enjoyed today. I hope you've learned it. I can attest that it is really, really powerful. And if you ever see me in your home and you see me suddenly doing something weird with my hands, it might be that I am instinctively doing baby sign language, because I did do some of this with my little one and I do think it's very powerful. So Angela, how do we get in contact with you? So the best way to contact you is WhatsApp.
Yes, WhatsApp.
Yep. And the Instagram page, you've got all the latest news on there on the classes and the consultations that you run. Again, Angela specializes in baby signs and also sleep. She is one of our pros in the group for that as well. And thank you everyone for being here today. Hope it's been good. Have a fantastic day.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.